Hey, all right, so welcome back to another Q&A video here on the Back 40 Firewood channel. Getting ready to head out to the Paul Bunyan show later this week, and I thought I would just do a Q&A video because I haven't done one for a while. Had a little time on vacation, and so I didn't want to wait too long. So here it is. If you're not familiar with, or if you haven't ever watched a Q&A video, what I do is from the last Q&A video, I pick out some of the questions that were left in the comments. So if you have a question that you would like to ask, leave it down in the comments of this video. And then on my next Q&A video, I might just pick out your question or your comment and answer it. So yeah, like I mentioned, getting ready to head out to Paul Bunyan show. I was doing a little splitting here this afternoon, actually. Right there is the footage. The one thing I'm doing in this footage is I'm just splitting up a bunch of odds and ends and bigger chunks. I'm just making boiler wood. So I'm using the single wedge, just busting through stuff. So nothing too exciting, but at least it's something going on over there where if you don't want to just sit and look at my face, which I wouldn't blame you if you don't, you can look at me over there splitting up some wood, making it into just bigger slabs and bigger chunks for the boiler. And I actually have a question concerning the boiler coming up here in a little bit. But our first question is, Dan, do you coordinate with other woodhounds on video subject matter? It seems that sometimes several of you release videos covering the same subject all about the same time. Just wondering if it was coincidence or intentional. When that usually happens, unless it's mentioned or if there's some collaboration happening, it's usually all just coincidence. Like, it's kind of crazy how sometimes there's a certain, like you said, a certain subject matter that like I'll be talking about in a video and somebody just did a video or somebody maybe has a video even that same day. The interesting thing is that contrary to what many probably believe, I don't get to watch, I don't have time to watch a lot of YouTube. And when I do watch YouTube, I'm kind of watching some other stuff besides just Firewood. I mean, I check out some Firewood channels. I'm subscribed to quite a few of them. So I do here and there pop in, check out a video, but nope, we usually don't. I mean, unless, like I said, unless we do have something planned where we're collaborating together, but otherwise it's all mostly just coincidence. So the next question is, how is your dad? I haven't been able to tune into the live streams for quite some time, or quite a while, so I don't know how he has been, or if he's been on there. Yep, he generally is on the live streams. He is doing great, doing good. We're getting ready to, he's got a couple trees that he spotted that blew down this summer. So he's got some wood hounding lined up to do down on the farm, which I'll probably be going down there here in a couple weeks, maybe after I get back from Bunyan. But yeah, he's doing great. Like I said, just getting things lined up to do a little fall firewood down on the farm. Oh, the next question. What mistakes have you noticed regarding people trying to start commercial firewood production? Ooh, that is an interesting question. And I don't necessarily know if they're really mistakes. I mean, the one thing with firewood is there's multiple ways you can do it. And I mean, in the end, you know, or the process, just how you process it can vary. But, you know, at the end of the day, I guess if there's mistakes to be made and lessons to be learned, I think the process will drive that for each individual, however they're doing it. You know, I know one thing that I made a mistake on starting out with is I didn't really have an idea of how much inventory I needed to plan ahead for. So I, started selling. The very first time I started selling it was in October, November-ish. And, I just didn't realize that at that point, I needed to be making a lot more wood for that following summer. But I also didn't realize at that time that I was going to sell more in the summer. So once I figured out when my busy season was and kind of got an idea of how much wood I would need, that was the key then to be able to plan ahead and to stay ahead. Kind of like what I talked about in that last video. So that's one of the mistakes that I made was I started out thinking that I was going to sell strictly for heating purposes, and that turned into selling more for recreational use, and I hadn't really thought of that or planned ahead with my inventory for that. So I was like going down to the farm to get wood, bringing it up here, resplitting it down smaller. I mean, it was that first year was kind of chaotic. But then I knew that, I got to amp up my production in the summer and the fall for the next year and always try to get ahead and stay ahead. Brian, let's talk bundles. My current prices are $7 each or 3 for $20. I'm thinking about raising the price to $9 each or 3 for $25. What are your thoughts? Thanks. Brycat Firewood. Yeah, I mean, I would give it a try and see. I mean, that's the one thing you can, if you keep track of how much you sell each month for bundles, change your prices and see how sales go. If sales stay the same or slightly tick down a little bit, that may be nothing to get too worried about. But like if your sales just drop off and you're not moving any wood, then I'd maybe go back to your regular pricing or check around and see what other people are selling them for. I mean, that's another, indication. If everybody else is raising their prices, chances are you probably can as well. And we have here Ronnie. Selling barkless firewood or firewood with the bark, is it worth separating for a profit premium firewood? And do you do this? I generally don't. I have thought about it. I have thought about with my, like when I have bigger oak rounds, I've thought about, cracking off the edges and just leaving the nice barkless core and breaking them down into nice, barkless splits. I know some people that do that, and they do get a little higher premium price for like, the premium like red oak, no bark. But it all depends on if you have enough supply to be able to do that, and then if you want to put in the time to do that. Because you do have to then pay attention to how you're splitting, and you have to kind of separate. So if you have enough supply and you don't mind putting in a little more time, give it a try and see. I mean, you can make, a handful of bundles out of a couple bigger rounds of oak. Just split off all the bark, split it off maybe 2-3 inches thick so you can still use those pieces to sell with your other stuff. And then all that inner stuff just break down into nice, clean looking premium sticks of firewood. But yeah, I would give it a try. Like I said, I've thought about it, but I haven't really, I don't think I would have that high of a market for it here. Maybe if I started like selling more smoker wood or, advertise that premium bundle. But yeah, for me, I just put it all together. All right. Let's see here. What else we got going on? CNR Performance Tucker. What do you do with all your waste or unperfect cuts? Well, if you're watching the footage over there on the screen, you'll see some of the unperfect cuts. And what I'm doing with them is what I do with most of what you might consider waste. Like this piece here, I think is like a big the root flare on it. So it's, and the dog's out there, so I'm throwing Mando some sticks to chew on. So yeah, this one like flares out at the bottom, or, it has a really, really big flare on it. So these pieces, you can get a few of them out of it that might be presentable to sell, but in this case, I'm just splitting it all for the boiler. But that's generally what I do. Anything that's gnarly looking, crotch pieces, or there's a few of those here coming up. Or maybe there was that one, the pine was just full of these big knots. Just split them up as best you can, and they go in the pile for the boiler. And then as far as like that waste stuff underneath the splitter, the shavings and the chaff or whatever. I generally don't really pick through that to like get the kindling out. And I mean, you could, and there'd be plenty of it to have, but I just kind of use that as mulch around the wood yard, and around the yard. And then I just mix it in with, if I do have like some stuff I'm scooping up to fill in a ditch or, but I don't spend a lot of time like scooping it up and putting it in a bucket and hauling it up to the shed and throwing it in the boiler. I mean, it would burn. If I someday get a permanent station that I'm there for like well over a year, like in the same spot splitting, maybe I'll look into that. But for the most part, it makes good mulch. Just keeps the wood yard clean and keeps the weeds down, so I don't have to mow. And this might be the last question here. How come you didn't accept Brad's challenge on growing a beard for 2 months? Well, because what you saw after 3 weeks, I think last when this whole thing was going down, that's about all you would see after 2 months. Facial hair doesn't grow on me very, very good, and it's real patchy. And the other thing was at that time, I had some other things I had to do, family related, public relation, in public. So I couldn't be looking like a scruffy old nerf herder. Not that I'm saying that's what Brad looks like. I'm just saying like it itches like, it's a pain in the butt. But speaking of Brad, I am going to be actually meeting him for the first time coming up here in a couple days at the Paul Bunyan show. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to that Friday night. This coming Friday night in a couple days. It'll be Friday Night Live at the Fairfield Inn in Cambridge, Ohio. For, I think, my first Friday Night Live with a live audience. I'm not sure how it's going to go. We're going to see. So if you can, or if you're not there, which hopefully it's not too big of a crowd, but be sure to tune in this Friday night because I think it's going to be fun. We're going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it will be an hour earlier than the normal time that I normally start Friday Night Lives, which is 8 Central. It'll be an hour earlier. So 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I'm guessing it's going to be jam-packed full of, I got a couple special guests that are going to be jumping on. I'm sure some other people that are there in attendance will bring them on. We might just go around, a little roaming reporter style, go around and just talk to people. Give you guys watching at home a chance to meet some of the people that are going to be there. And then Saturday, I will be at the Paul Bunyan show all day Saturday. I don't have any set times when I'll be doing or things at certain spots. I will. Joe, Ohio Woodburner, is going to be at the Yappa tent from 11 until 1. So I'll probably stop over there. I'll probably be at Wolf Ridge. I'll just be all over the place. Kind of like last year. It's tough to make a plan because sometimes the best plan is no plan. So if you see me there, stop, wave me down, flag me down, come up, say hi. That's the thing that I enjoyed actually the most last year. I mean, seeing everything is awesome. I mean, it's the biggest show around. So there's plenty to see and everything to see is awesome. But meeting you people, that's what really made the day last year. So if you're going to be at the Paul Bunyan show on Saturday, like I said, flag me down, come and find me. I'm not sure I'll be able to go live. I can't remember. I think the signal isn't very strong in the Guernsey County Fairgrounds, unless maybe they put up a new cell tower or something since last year. But I might be trying to make posts to keep people updated, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Again, no plan is the best plan. So if you're going, hopefully we'll see you there. Otherwise, tune in this Friday for live from Paul Bunyan, Fairfield Inn, Cambridge, Ohio. And if you have any questions, Again, leave them down in the comments of this video. And then when I come back and do another Q&A video, I'll pick some out and answer them. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.